Welcome to the SABC News COVID-19 Global Wrap, where myself, Babalole Phaka, and my colleague Busisiwe Khatebe bring you highlights of stories which dominated news headlines with regards to the coronavirus pandemic. But before we delve into it, let us have a look at some global stats. The world currently sits at over 102 million confirmed cases, with over 73.8 million recoveries and over 2.2 million deaths. Ranking 15th in the world, South Africa currently sits at over 1.4 million cases, with over 1.2 million recoveries and over 43,000 deaths.
Staying in South Africa expects the flight carrying its first 1 million coronavirus vaccine doses to arrive on Monday. The doses come from the Serum Institute in India. Meanwhile, the South African Health Products Council has announced that it will allow the use of ivermectin in controlled, compassionate circumstances to treat COVID-19. The council says it will facilitate an access program for the drug known to be used in the treatment of parasites in animals. Ivermectin is not authorized for human use in South Africa, but some medical practitioners have been calling for it to be used for the treatment of COVID-19. On to the rest of Africa. The continent has now recorded over 3.5 million confirmed COVID-19 cases, with over 3 million recoveries, and the death toll stands at 89,092. Uganda has launched clinical trials of a locally produced herbal treatment for COVID-19. The therapeutic drug was developed by a think tank of local scientists under the Presidential Initiative on Epidemics. Meanwhile, Morocco started rolling out its mass coronavirus vaccination program on Thursday, the first African country to do so. On Wednesday, the North African country received 500,000 doses of China's Sinopharm coronavirus vaccine. The World Health Organization urged Tanzania to follow science a day after President John Magufuli said COVID-19 vaccines were dangerous and unnecessary, and people should rather trust God and use alternative remedies such as inhaling steam. African Union Chairperson President Cyril Ramaphosa on Tuesday urged wealthy countries not to hoard surplus COVID-19 vaccine supplies, adding his voice to calls for global production to be shared more equally. The AU secured another 400 million doses of AstraZeneca's vaccine in a push to immunize 60% of the continent's population over a 3-year period. And lastly, in the Middle East, Bahrain received its first delivery of AstraZeneca's vaccine, state media said.
And in international news, United States President Joe Biden says he aims to acquire an additional 200 million doses of COVID-19 vaccines in a bid to inoculate most Americans by summertime. With an initial target purchase of 400 million doses, Biden's administration will purchase 100 million doses each of vaccines made by Pfizer Inc. and BioNTech and Moderna Inc., increasing the overall doses to 600 million. In South America, Mexican President Manuel López Obrador tested positive for COVID-19. Mexican Deputy Health Minister Hugo López-Gatell said the president was still experiencing some mild symptoms by Tuesday, including a minor headache, but was in good health overall and had no other symptoms. In Asia, experts and officials say logistical hurdles could further delay the slow-moving pace of Japan's vaccination rollout. A lack of containers, dry ice, and difficulties in recruiting medical staff could complicate plans to have max vaccine inoculations done in time for the Olympic Games in July. Meanwhile, China recorded its lowest daily increase in COVID-19 cases in more than 2 weeks on Wednesday, suggesting that aggressive measures put into place to curb a resurgence of the virus are effective. According to the National Health Commission, 75 new confirmed cases were reported on Tuesday, down from 82 a day earlier, and the lowest single-day rise since January 11. And finally, vaccine manufacturer AstraZeneca has refuted German media reports that its COVID-19 vaccine is not very effective for the elderly. The reports, seen in 2 German daily papers, suggested that its vaccine had an efficacy of 8% or less than 10% in those over 65 years. AstraZeneca described the media reports as completely incorrect, adding that strong immune responses to the vaccine had been shown in blood analysis of elderly trial participants. In Europe, British Health Minister Matt Hancock said 77 cases of the South African variant of COVID-19 were detected on Sunday, while 9 identified cases were detected from a Brazilian variant. Hancock further urged people to strictly follow lockdown rules as a precaution against the United Kingdom's own variant. And in France, fears of a third national lockdown are brewing as the daily number of new coronavirus infections stayed above 20,000 on average for the 4th straight day on Tuesday, while hospitalizations reached an 8-week high of 27,041.
For the latest updates on the coronavirus, visit sabcnews.com.